Okay, here we go. The PA High School Football Report, sponsored by OSS Health. PennLive's Eric Epler here. PennLive's Dan Sostek there. Once again, belly of the beast. We're getting used to this place.
Yeah.
Although we will say this. To get into here is 3 locks.
Yeah.
3 different locks, 3 different keys. Dan's responsible for holding the keys. I don't touch locks. I'm never good at them.
Yeah.
We'd still be banging on the door.
Yeah.
You mean like I had?
Yes,
Yeah.
like Megan has to bang on the door because we don't put the little, what's the little things called?
Door stops.
Door stops.
It feels like
in the doors.
It feels like the opening scene of Raiders of the Lost Ark. Like
It does.
like you're just navigating. You feel like if you turn it the wrong way, an arrow is going to come shoot out. Yeah, a lot goes into recording this podcast, and most of it is just opening doors.
Most of it's just opening doors. Yeah, it's in the basement, and it's we're all alone down here, so it's a little scary. Yeah. Anyway, all right. First and foremost, Dan, we're going to wash over a couple of games that that you and I covered over the weekend, and then we're super excited to welcome in a pair of Mechanicsburg wrecking balls.
Yeah.
Or as you'll hear, which I can't get out of my head now. The Pancake Platoon.
Yeah, that has to be what we refer to them as.
You have to listen how we figured this out.
Yeah.
But they didn't give themselves nicknames.
Yeah.
They're not, you know what I mean. But it's just something we noticed, and now I can't get it out of my head. Quite possibly the greatest thing I've discovered all during the football season. Anyway, Collin Stare and Jimmy Dewire are going to join us here in about 10-11 minutes. Those two thumpers are leading the Wildcats right now 6-1. Obviously, you know about the 10-0 season last year. They went all the way to the district semis, gave McDevitt a whale of a football game before bowing out. So those guys are coming up in about 10-11 minutes. Okay, Dan, let's go fast and furious here. We're going to start with your game. You got to see, I think this is probably your second time you've seen Hershey.
Yep. And
second time you see Redland. It turned out to be a decent game, but obviously the Cam Sweeney effect is in full gear right now.
Yeah, you kind of went into the year thinking, hey, if Hershey's going to be really good, Cam's going to have to do a lot of stuff for that team. But this game was a kind of complete different level of that. He threw for a touchdown, ran for a touchdown, stripped a runner and returned the fumble for a touchdown, and had the game-winning interception, and also had 4 punts of over 35 yards, including a pooch punt that put Redland way back at like the 15-yard line. He literally did everything for the team. He's also, most players aren't, especially when you play football like Cam Sweeney does. He's not 100% either. Had a little bit of a, shoulder sling, not shoulder sling, but some, bandage around his shoulder. Just an absolute, truly one of the top athletes in our area, just in general, because we all know what he is on the basketball court. But as a football player, he's a pretty special guy too. And, they just, after Redland settles for a field goal to start the game, Hershey really took control, went up by 2 scores pretty quickly. And the fumble return for a touchdown was kind of the swing of that game. And it was just a massive win for her. They basically needed that win. They probably could have still snuck into the playoffs without winning that game. But this game puts them in really solid position if they can, go up against that Mechanicsburg team and pick up a win.
Yep.
Potentially hosting a playoff game or two. And I still, they're a little banged up on the offensive line too. But when you have a difference maker like that in Cam Sweeney, it's tough to. That's always going to be a pretty nice trump card to have.
Yeah, 5-2 right now after 7 weeks. Obviously, a couple winnable games, some tough games.
That
though.
was also what Bob
Still,
Mark he said too. We feel like we let those 2 games slip away, and I think that's a fair assessment.
Well, they certainly let the Shippensburg game slip away in the opener. I mean, I was there and actually got to see it, and Cam was his usual Cam self. Mm-hmm. But Shippensburg is one of those teams that they kind of make you play ugly, and they're sitting there at 6-1.
Yep.
So you know how well playing ugly works for them.
Yep.
And they got a ton of new guys rolling around. So. But, we always talk about Eric Faust getting, maximum effort out of his guys. So yeah, real key win for Hershey. Obviously, down the stretch run now, only 3 weeks to go.
And Redland, this is a big kind of not check themselves, but it's a big, how are you going to handle the adversity, right?
Right.
You start the year so hot, 5-0 to 5-2, and now a huge game this week against Shippensburg, I believe. So
yep.
it's a real big I don't know if he's called a must win, but it's a pretty key game for Redland this week.
Yeah, I mean, you figure it. 7-3 is going to get you in.
Yeah.
But that's if you would lose to Shippensburg, but you still it's always difficult. That 5-0 is kind of a blessing and a curse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You kind of get this stamina and this kind of progression and this steam going 5-0, particularly a team like Redland who had struggled for the past couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
But now you got to keep the pedal down. I mean, it's absolutely, you need to get to that 7-win mark.
Yep.
6-4 maybe gets you in, but it gets you on the road as well. It's you're traveling, and it's a little bit more complicated when you sneak in as opposed to getting in that middle part of the qualifiers. All right, Dan, I found myself at the Rock this week. It was a big weekend, homecoming weekend for Bishop McDevitt High School, and of course, a rival opponent coming to town in Cumberland Valley. McDevitt honored the 1985 District 3 championship team. That was the first district title for McDevitt, and they now have 18, which is tied for the lead. I think they're working on 7 straight, 6 or 7 straight, something like that now. And then of course Ricky Waters came home, was back in the mix. He was the special guest. There was a lot of guys there from the 1995 team they also honored, which was the first state championship team for McDevitt. So there was a lot going on. There was a tailgate. DJ guy was from Steelton, longtime Steelton guy. DJ Smooth, shout out to him. So it was a good time and a really good effort by Bishop McDevitt too. They bounced ahead 20-0. We're never really in trouble in this game. I thought Cumberland Valley's defense sort of acquitted themselves pretty well, but overall, this to me, what stood out was Bishop McDevitt's offensive line. They have gotten progressively better since the first few weeks. I think maybe the opening loss to Clarkson, the Canadian crew, kind of opened their eyes a little bit on how they got to be a little bit more physical, and they've done that now. So they're in pretty good shape now at 5-2, won 5 straight, 34-13 over Cumberland Valley. Pretty impressive. Nas obviously was injured earlier in the season. 135 yards in this one, a couple of TDs. Of course, Jerome LaRue's now getting a few more carries every week. And Sebastian Williams just continues to look the part really well. And this is, I don't think we just haven't seen the best out of this wide receiver crew yet. We know it's talented, but I think because of the success that McDevitt's had rushing the football, there hasn't been a lot of opportunities for these guys.
Yeah.
Jonte Quick obviously was hurt, got hurt, so he's been out. One of their probably their top wide out. So, but there's a lot to like on this defense too. We talked about McDevitt's defense a lot in the preseason, and they certainly came to play against Cumberland Valley. So McDevitt looks good. Cumberland Valley is, I think, still at a kind of a crossroads. Still got to get to that elusive 5 wins. They're 3-4 right now.
And we've got Harrisburg this week.
So that's certainly no picnic against the Cougars. So
they did beat them last year.
They did.
Severance. So,
yep. At Severance. That's right. Yeah.
So, this Harrisburg team feels like it's really firing all cylinders right now. They had another big win this past weekend against Altoona. Really got Elias Koch going. So that's
Koch's been going for now like 3-4 weeks.
Yeah, and I still don't think. I mean, when you watch him, you still see him, tugging at that knee a little bit. They obviously he's catching 3 touchdowns a game. So I still don't even think what we're seeing right now is Elias. At
Probably
100%.
not.
So I mean, and that's the thing. Harrisburg's doing this all without Messiah Mickens. You know that just Elias isn't. Elias is playing through some stuff, but still playing. Like they have plenty of room to even get better, which I think is a scary part.
It is very scary, absolutely. All right, Dan, we're going to get to our special guests today, Mechanicsburg's Collin Stare and Jimmy Dewire. They are teed up and ready to go. So let's hear what the boys from Mechanicsburg have to say.
All right, we're here with 2 of the best trenchmen in the Mid-Penn. They both play for the same team, so that's convenient. We're here with Jimmy Dewire and Collin Stare. They're both all-state offensive linemen for Mechanicsburg last year, where they helped the Wildcats go 10-0. This year they sit 6-1. Both Division I commits as well. Collin's a Central Michigan commit. Jimmy's a Sacred Heart commit. Let's welcome them in. Collin, Jimmy, thanks for coming on to the PA High School Football Report.
Yeah, of course.
Yes,
Thanks
sir.
for
Thank
having
you.
me.
Yep. Yeah, so I guess we'll start with a question for both of you. I always like asking, the offensive lineman teammates this. Either one of you can start, but just how long have you guys been playing next to each other coming up on the offensive line and defensive line? Have you guys been, kind of line mates for a long time? Was it more just, when you got to high school, you kind of found that position? Or did you play other positions growing up, or have you guys been developing that chemistry for a while?
So
Yeah,
I've always played.
yeah,
I've al-
Jimmy.
I've always
Jimmy,
played
you
the
go.
offensive line, and
Mhm.
Colin was more of a skill position player while we grew up. He played
Mhm.
longer than me, but once we got to high school, it kind of switched. Colin came to the offensive line, and I kind of started playing defensive line more. We kind of just
Mhm.
like bonded that way.
Mhm.
Yeah, what he said. When we were in youth, I was more of a running back and a fullback. I was always on the D line, and he was more of an offensive guy, and I was more of a defensive guy. But once we got to, I'd say freshman year, I was still running back, but I played D line, and Jimmy made the switch to O line and D line.
Mhm.
And sophomore year, junior year, and obviously this year as well, we've both been on the offense and defensive line.
Yeah.
Yeah. Colin, do you think that kind of background as, playing more kind of skill positions has helped you, especially, I imagine, especially defensively, when you're trying to beat pass protection, things like that, that kind of quickness helps. Do you use some of those skills from earlier on in your game?
Oh yeah. So I mean, I'm not the fastest guy, but like my history of skill position has definitely helped me with my speed and my get off. That's also one of my strengths is my get off on the defensive line. I'm pretty much faster than any O lineman I face, so it's definitely a big advantage for me. And for the offensive side, it's really just about getting in front of them. If we're going outside left or inside left, I'm able to just get right in front of them, and they can't go make the play. So that's really where it shows.
Yeah. And I guess I'll start with Jimmy for this question, and we'll go to Colin. This is a really great class for linemen in the mid pen. I mean, going from Kevin Brown, Tyler Merrill, the U2 to Yendor Mack, all those guys. Is there like I don't know, it's not like you're calling or texting them every day, but is there sort of a relationship you guys have with all of sort of these other Division I offensive linemen that are in your kind of graduating class? You go against a decent amount of them as well. But even if there isn't, how cool is it to kind of see all these positional, like similar positional players on the offensive and defensive line making it to the next level, like both of you have?
Yeah, I wouldn't say like we all know each other like on a
Mhm.
personal note. We might know each other just through like Twitter or just like through
Mhm.
PennLive articles and such. But it's definitely cool seeing like Susquehanna, for example, Yendor Mac. Like we played with
Mhm.
them growing up with like midgets and ponies and everything, so that's definitely cool to see. But it's definitely cool to
Mhm.
see like the mid pen starting to like show like within Pennsylvania that we can produce like Division I talent. It's not like you see in like in Pittsburgh or Philly that like we can make like we have good players as well.
Mhm.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, I don't really have too much of a personal relationship with a lot of the guys. The Trinity guys, I went on a couple of visits with, and I know we used to play with Marcus when we were younger, so I have a personal
Yeah.
relationship with him.
Mhm.
Also, Sam from Trinity as well. I know him pretty well. But other than that, I mean, Kevin Brown, he's doing his thing. He's going to Penn State, and Tyler Merrill. We 7-on-7 them. I went against him. He's tough.
Mhm.
But on a personal level, we don't know each other, but like Jimmy said, like the articles and stuff, we obviously know of each other. So it's awesome to see all the talent in Central Pennsylvania. It's really cool, especially this class. I
Yeah.
feel like maybe past classes it hasn't been like that, but there's something about this class. It's special. It's awesome
Yeah.
to see as well.
Yeah. Our historian, Eric Epler, has kind of said that about this class. So he said it's probably one of the best classes he's seen.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
awesome. I love it.
It's
there was
cool.
a even in Pennsylvania, even statewide, there was a class about I want to say it's now probably 12 years ago, where we had 82 guys going to the FBS or FCS level,
Oh
and
wow.
it was the greater and I will say this, and keeping with Pennsylvania and their great history of linemen, um, you guys obviously are added to that now, but there was probably half of that field were linemen. The tight ends are linemen, which was really cool to see. You know,
Right.
you guys know we talk a lot about the skill guys.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And they get all the headlines and things like that, but we know it's the guys in the trenches that matter. Anyway, guys,
Right.
I wanted to ask you too. I wanted to just go back to last year too, and say how much of that success. And I'll start with Collin on this. How much did that success sort of, light the fire of this group? And obviously, some of the names and some faces have changed this year, but it feels a lot like last year where you guys just built this unbelievable momentum and and keeping it going. I mean, how much did that sort of carry over to this season?
Yeah, I think it starts with our coaches. Coach Hacker's been doing an awesome job, and we have incredible assistant coaches. Coach Payne, Coach Matt Ioannidis, who played in the NFL. He helps a ton. He helps the offensive defensive line a ton. I really think it starts with them, and I mean their ability to coach us up and get us ready, prepared every single week. It's really translated from last year. Last year we had great leadership. Obviously we lost Josh, we lost Eli, we lost Isaac, we lost Justin, we lost some awesome kids, but like we had some motivation as well because we felt like last year it was all just about them, and going into this year I almost feel like people were down us because we lost all those guys, which is, I mean, it's a valid thing to say, but we want to make our own name for ourselves as well. So I feel like that motivation has carried us into this year. We didn't lose the game last year until McDevitt. Unfortunately, we lost to Lower Dolphin. I don't know if any of you guys saw that game or anything like that, but they got an onside kick. We fumbled an onside kick, and then they got a game-winning field goal from like 40 yards out with their backup kicker. So kudos to them, but that's one we should have won for sure.
No, I mean,
You
like what
guys-
Colin said.
Right.
It's just like, I think it's just our coaching to start off. We brought in great coaches last year, and they've built us into the leaders we are today, which has carried through from last year to this year.
It almost seems, guys, like the LD loss. Collin, you mentioned it. A heartbreaking loss, but it almost seems like that revved you guys up even more. Is that accurate to say? I mean, no
Absolutely.
one wants to lose a football game. I get it, but it's not like LD wasn't isn't a quality opponent, and things went down as they went down. But it almost seems like that has triggered something even better in you guys.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, LD is a great football team. Don't get me wrong. I just think that we shot ourselves in the foot, and we definitely should have won that game. Kudos to them. Obviously, they won, but I think we shot ourselves in the foot. Moving forward from that game, I think we definitely bounced back. I think we played Gettysburg after Lord Dolphin, and then we moved to who was week 6. It was Redland.
Yeah.
We moved right into Redland, who was 5-0, and we were ready to curb stomp them. It was a close game. They're a really good team as well. We had some mental mistakes. We had some fumbles. We had some other mistakes as well that I really think it should have been more of a margin of victory. But that's a good team, and we were able to get that win, so it felt good. And now we moved on to last week. Obviously, we beat Northern, and now we're moving on to Waynesboro. So I feel like it's definitely been a nice motivational booster for us because we're not really used to We're not really used to losing. As you saw
Right.
last year, I mean, we didn't lose the regular season game.
Mhm.
So I feel like it was really, we were all just like, I can't believe we just lost. We need to bounce back though. There's no whining, there's no crying. You move on and you bounce back, and that's what we did.
Yeah, guys. Colin, you kind of mentioned it, but I think it's pretty cool. How much that you guys have multiple former NFL players on staff, right, in Mechanicsburg.
Awesome.
How much of a resource is that for you guys? From everything from game tips to tips about taking care of yourself, or tips about navigating recruiting and things like that. How much help have those two guys been?
I'll say this first personally with Coach Matt, since he's a defensive lineman and he played defensive line. He's helped me a ton. It was really why I was successful last year, was really because of him. I put in the time with him, and I saw we had a very good relationship last year, and we still do. This year it's gotten better as well. But I just used his resources. I used his knowledge, and I would say 30 minutes after practice and pick up what he was saying, and we would drill it, and it really translated to the game. And it really just helped me a ton, and I just used that resource to my advantage, and I thank him so much for that. And he doesn't have to be doing this, obviously. He's good. He doesn't need to be doing this, but he is. So, as far as that's how my personal connection has been good. Coach Chris Hakel played in the NFL a couple years. He's helped Noah become who he is today. I mean, Noah's been doing great. He hasn't played quarterback, and this is his first year, and he's doing awesome for us. And he's leading us right now. So I really appreciate his help as well. So it's been awesome. We're blessed. We're blessed.
Guys, I'm
It's
curious.
definitely.
Oh, go ahead, Jimmy. Go ahead.
I was gonna say it's like definitely based off their experience. They obviously play at the highest level of football. Like Chris Hakel was like, I think like the Heisman winner for the FCS. Like that's helped Noah a lot because he has like the experience about it. And it's like I think even with Matt, like he's gone through the recruiting process. He gave me tips. He told me like stay calm, wait for it to happen. I think their experience is like they brought down the knowledge to us that we could then carry on to like our teammates as well.
Yeah.
We're talking to two of the best in the mid-pen, Collin Stare and Jimmy Dewire, Mechanicsburg teammates, sitting there 6-1. Guys, I'm curious, what was easier for you guys? Because we know linemen are smart, we know they're intelligent, but what was more difficult part for you guys? Was it the physical part or the mental part of playing along the line of scrimmage?
Jimmy, you go first because I've been going first this whole time.
I think sometimes it comes to like the mental part. Obviously, like our schematics are different from last year to this year, so kind of like learning how we're going to play this year without the weapons we had last year is definitely a big part. Having to learn that we have to run inside the tackle now, and then we can't just rely on like the big play. We have to sustain drives, so like that goes like hand in hand with physical and mental parts. Like we got to be able to sustain drives even when we're tired. We still have to play at our top level.
Yeah, I agree with what he said. I think the mental part is, defense is a little bit different because you're just going, you're getting after it, you're being violent. But offense, it takes a little bit more of the mental part into it because, especially with this year, last year we were out by halftime at least like 5 games. We were just chuck the ball up and score like 60, 70-yard touchdowns like almost every game. So it was really a big change. That was really the big change from last year is our offense and how we need to, like Jimmy said, sustain drives, run the ball, get 4 yards a pop because we don't have those type of, we still have great receivers, but we don't have those guys from last year, which is why we're doing what we're doing right now.
I don't want to. You certainly don't want to overlook Waynesboro, but you've got a couple clashes here to end the season with 5-2 Hershey, who's surging, and obviously 6-1 Shippensburg. What do you guys feel like you really haven't done full bore yet? You haven't been sort of you're working toward. Is there one area of the game, and maybe it's either side of the ball, where you want to see kind of big improvement here over the last couple of weeks to kind of end the regular season in style and obviously move on to the playoffs?
Yeah, I think it's definitely our offense for sure. We're putting in a little bit of a wrinkle this week, actually. I'm not going to say what it is, unfortunately, but you guys see on Friday. But we're putting in a little bit of a wrinkle this week, and hopefully that carries into the final 2 weeks of the season as well. But it really starts with the offense. We need to get going. We were successful last game against Northern, but we're going to see a lot better teams than that. So we need to figure it out on the offense side of the ball. I think we're doing just fine, but I think we need to elevate because our competition the last 2 weeks is going to be the best competition we faced all year. So we need to be at our best, and I think that what we're going to do is going to help elevate us and help our offense out. And with the defensive side of the ball, I think we just need to keep getting after it. I mean, we're set on defense. That's our strength right now. Is we're set. We're ready to go.
Definitely offensively, it's like sustaining that first drive. It seems like it's been like the entire story this year with us in our first drives. We go 3 and out. I think like we need to sustain a first drive, get a few first downs, and score. I think that's like we need to score in the first drive, and I hope like that's what's going to carry into us these last 3 games.
All right, guys, and I got to ask because so Colin's a wrestler. Jimmy, did you ever wrestle? Did Colin coach ever try to get you to wrestle?
He
Yeah, so
wrestled one time.
I wrestled for 2 years when I was like 7 and 8, and then like I just didn't. I hated it.
It's not. It definitely is. I wrestled for 5 years, and I think I went like 6 and 50 or whatever in middle school.
Yeah, I never made it past JV.
Yeah, it's a tough one. But so Colin, you're obviously a wrestler. and obviously Coach Heckard's also a wrestler coach. What is Coach Heckard more mellow as a football coach or a wrestling coach?
Oh, 110% as a football coach. I don't want to say he's totally different on the wrestling mat, but I mean it's a little bit different. He gets intense on the wrestling mat for sure. I personally think he likes football more. I just think it's a little bit. It's two different types of sports,
Mhm.
and he's got a mindset on that mat, and no one wants to mess with him during wrestling season.
That's what we've all said. We've said that since Coach Heckard has come back to be a head coach. Is that it's kind of a night and day temperament out there, and it makes sense.
Yeah, you don't want to mess with him on the mat. He gets crazy. I'm not gonna lie.
I think I've seen Coach moonwalk one time on the wrestling mat. He was so
Yeah, I
excited.
mean he gets hype. It's awesome. It's fun to watch. But he's an amazing coach. I give a lot of props to him.
Yeah.
Listen, before we go any further, I'm intrigued by there's a flag behind Jimmy's head. Is that the Pancake Block Club?
It says Pancake Platoon. I got it when I was in like 8th grade. I just haven't really felt like taking it down.
That's the greatest flag I've ever seen. It's perfect for a lineman.
Yeah.
Dude, I haven't been to his room in years. I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You need one of them, Collin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe
My wall's pretty. I got my Central Michigan pillow, and that's about it.
I got
Nice.
this. I got this. That's about it for me then.
yeah. Well,
That's
maybe we'll start referring to the Mechanicsburg line as the Pancake Platoon in some art.
Platoon. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Chippewas, Collin. Excuse me. I've been to Kelly Short Stadium, by the way. It is an awesome venue, and I'm sure it was among the many reasons why you chose to join the Chippewas next year. You had 10 plus offers, so why did you choose Central Michigan? I mean, listen, it's cold up there in Mount Pleasant, brother.
I got a lot of good things to say about the staff. The staff is great. Some of them came from Coach Drinko came from Army. Coach Smith came from Fair State. Fair State is like probably the best Division II football school in the country, and he's done a great job with them there. We've built a great relationship. They offered me in, I want to say May or June, and I told them from the jump that I wanted to take my process slow, and I wanted to make a decision right before the season, and they were totally cool with it. They would contact me. They just built an amazing relationship with me. The staff there is great. The strength and conditioning staff is great. And I went on an official visit there, and the one thing that I noticed is the people there it's like a football town, if that makes sense. Like everyone's bought in, everyone's really respectful, and it's really just nice to see. And I didn't get to catch a game until like 2 weeks ago, and it was great. It was awesome. I went up there, and the stadium was packed. It was hot as balls. I'm not gonna lie, it was very hot. But it was an amazing time. They got a win over Eastern.
I was just gonna say, if you were there 2 weeks ago, they took out my boys, Eastern Michigan. That's my alma mater.
They did.
So I'm not happy about the 13 whipping, but we'll give you that one. It's okay. You're the special guest today, so I'll accept that. It's okay.
All right.
And you've also already sent a mid-pen player to the NFL, so
that's exactly right,
Dante Kent. So
yeah.
Yeah. That's right. He played for Central Michigan. He got drafted. Was that last year or 2 years ago?
Yeah, last year, 7th round pick.
Yeah, and so Jimmy, I'm going to change directions, and obviously you're going in the opposite direction to Connecticut. Your choice was Sacred Heart. Tell me some of the reasons why you chose them.
So they're like only one of my 2 Division I offers. They're the first school to offer me, and from the jump, like their coach came into school and pulled me aside, and he said they're just super interested in me, which is like awesome for me because like no one really said that before. And then 2 weeks later, they offered me. And honestly, like Stonehill offered me, but like my mind was kind of made up right away. Like I wanted to go to Sacred Heart because they showed love first. And then I visited campus and I loved it. It's like a perfect area. It's right outside of New Haven, so there's really good pizza right there. It's a nice area. The beach is 5 minutes away, and it's like a perfect size. So like after I visited campus, I was like, this is the place I want to go. The coaches have always showed love to me. I've met a bunch of the other commits, and they're all really cool. especially like the other offensive linemen. Like they're probably gonna be my roommates. So it's like we're all bought in, and like it seems like a really close, tight knit family.
Was Coach Tiernan the guy who
Yeah.
was recruiting you?
Yep. He's the guy.
Okay. I know those guys have picked off a few mid Penn. They've dug in
Yeah.
pretty good to us too. Just kind of elaborate on those decisions too. I mean, what's it feel like? There's not many. Again, we mentioned the guys going like FBS and FCS, and it's just a special kind of feeling once you commit. Was it relief when you guys committed, or was it just joy? I mean, what was the feeling? Because obviously it is a difficult decision, even though you fall in love with a place. If you show up and you love the campus and you love the people, it is a difficult decision because your next 4+ years are going to be at that place. I mean, what was it like? What were the emotions for you?
I'll go first. I'll say this: I had good relationships with a lot of the colleges that offered me as well. It was basically down to Monmouth and Central Michigan for me. I loved the coaches at Monmouth. Those guys were great there, and I have the utmost respect for them. I just felt more at home at Central, and I just loved it as soon as I went on the visit. And yeah, it's just I just loved it there. That was really my main thing. Even though I had like I think it was 13 offers, I just fell in love with the place really.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I only had two, but I had a really good like relationship with the offensive line coach at Stonehill. I thought he was an awesome person. He like treated me almost like a player of the team. Like I visited there as well, and I sat on in an offensive line meeting. Like he toured me around campus, and like it was really hard to commit to Sacred Heart because like I loved him as a person, but I felt like Sacred Heart was just the better place to go. So after I committed, I felt bad for like a second or two, but then like I felt like the weight was lifted off my shoulders. So I was like, I made the right decision.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like there was definitely some relief as well and some joy from my side because I had a little bit of a long process. I didn't get my first until I think March, and then I didn't get another one until I think at least a month or over a month after that. And then they just all started to like come in, so it was a lot of stress. I'm not gonna lie. Everyone wants to go Division 1, but I mean, once you're in that situation, like it's stressful. You're getting your phone blown up. Like you're answering calls every day, text every day, and honestly, it was a dream come true, and I was full of joy because ever since I was a little kid, strapping up that helmet, wearing number 99, I wanted to live out my dream. So I'm extremely blessed and joyful.
Yeah, same.
All right, guys. We just have a couple more questions. I have one, and then Eric has a couple more, and then we'll let you out. But I always like asking, linemen this question because when you ask running backs, extra wide receivers, which players they watch, film of, you usually get the same 2 to 3 answers, right? Every running back's going to say they want to be Saquon or whatever. Every wide receiver is going to want to be Jefferson, Chase. Every quarterback's want to be Brady, Mahomes. But I feel like you get some good answers with linemen. Who are your some of favorite guys at the next level? That you watch and try to take little pointers or little things they do from their games.
Yeah, I'll go first with this one. When Aaron Donald was a good one of the dudes I used to watch a lot. He's similar to me. I'm not like 6'4". I mean, I'm more of a smaller defensive lineman, and I kind of just take I watch his film a lot, watch his highlights a lot, and just take little pieces from what he does. His get off is very good, or it was very good, and that's something I've
I'm sure it's
implemented
probably
in my
still pretty
game.
good too, even right now.
Oh yeah, I mean he's jacked.
Yeah.
But I mean his skill set I've definitely watched. I'm a big Eagles fan,
Mhm.
so Jalen Carter is another dude I watch. His ability to take up double teams and still make plays and help his team win, is awesome. Um, One other guy when I was younger, I used to watch J.J. Watt as well. He was awesome, and his brother T.J. Watt. So those 4 guys I feel like are dudes I've always watched and still watch to this day.
For me, it's been like most recently it's been Jason Kelsey or like even Willie Lampkin from UNC, just because
That's a fun one.
they're smaller offensive linemen. Like I'm not 6'6", I'm not 330 pounds. So the way that they use their body to their advantage is something I want to like take with me, because they're just not big. So like they have to be athletic. They have to be able to move. So that's definitely something I want to carry with me. And then like someone who is bigger, it's definitely like just Will Campbell right now, or like Trent Williams, because they're great tackles and they have a great set. So watching their set and their strike is definitely something I want to take with me as well.
Well, yeah, the Willie Lampkin tape during the draft process was so fun to watch because
Yeah.
he didn't even look like an offensive lineman out there.
Oh, he's like 5'11".
Yeah, it's incredible. And then, Colin, I actually covered Aaron Donald in college, so that was.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He played at Pitt, right?
Yeah, Pitt, and I remember telling people, I was like, I'm not sure he's going to make it in the NFL because it just didn't make any sense how he could do what he did. So,
Right.
some good picks there.
He's a baller. He was a baller. I think he should have played longer, personally. But
Yeah.
hey, he made his money, he made his worth, and he got out. So respect to him.
Yeah, you just made Sostek's day. Good Lord.
And the Will Campbell, too. I'm a Patriots fan, so.
Oh, yeah.
Got double.
Yeah, it was fun watching him at LSU.
Yeah, he's fun to watch.
All right, guys, just to follow up and close it out here, I have to ask, and either one of you or both of you can answer this one, but which one of your teammates has the absolute messiest locker?
Jimmy, you go first.
So most of us, like, we don't really use our lockers. Most of us just use our cars because we're always either driving to the stadium or staying like at the field. But definitely our teammate with one of the dirtiest cars I think I've seen, Drew Freeland. He has a really, really dirty back seat and trunk, and it's sometimes gross to see where it's like you have like dirty socks or like empty Fairlight bottles. Like, why don't you just throw them out?
I'm gonna have to say Drake because I've been in his car a little bit, and the back of his car is filled with absolutely everything you can think of: football stuff, baseball stuff, dirty clothes, clean clothes, trash, papers, school stuff. Like, he just put everything back there, and I don't understand it. But
in Drake's car, once I saw like a 12-pack of like Krispy Kreme donuts in the back that were just sitting in there, and he just like wouldn't touch it. He was like, "Do you want them?" I was like, "No."
No telling how long they've been in there.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
They last forever though. That's all good.
They do, absolutely. All right, I'll start with Jimmy on this one. Last question: you get 2 sacks, 2 pancake blocks, or a scoop and score during a game. Which one are you picking?
Probably a scoop and score.
All right.
Because I've only scored. I don't even know if I count. I scored 1 touchdown in Smurfs before I got like much bigger. I was a tight end. I took an end around. So like if that counts, like that's my only touchdown. So I think it'd be fun to take a scoop and score.
Nice. Colin?
Me personally, I mean, I love getting sacks. I'm slacking on the sacks this year. I keep getting triple and double teamed.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna have to say scoop and score as well. I mean, I haven't scored a touchdown since freshman year. My first game that I played running back freshman year was at Waynesboro, believe it or not. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to say scoop and score. It's nothing like scoring a touchdown, especially when you're a big man.
Just make sure you do not drop the ball at the 1 yard line. Because that is.
You see that this week too? It's crazy.
The Cardinals.
It's an epidemic.
Cardinals, dude.
Yeah, it's an epidemic. I've never come close to scoring a touchdown, so maybe it's like something that it's uncontrolled. It's an uncontrollable urge to do it, but it seemed if I was a defensive lineman, I would hold the ball like this and just hand the ball to the ref.
Yeah.
Yep. I think that's all we've got for you two. Jimmy and Colin, thanks so much for coming on. Good luck this week making that trek down to Waynesboro. I used to work down there, so I know how long of a drive that is. And bring some reading material. And we're excited to see what this wrinkle is. And I'm sure we'll be.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Is
sure.
anyone coming to the game on Friday? Any of you guys?
I don't think we pay mileage to go to Waynesboro.
I don't blame you.
I don't blame you.
The flight is too expensive. The flight's too expensive for us.
Yeah. We'll definitely have someone at Mechanicsburg Hershey. Assuming you guys both take.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That'll be like
you guys are gonna have to tune in. You gotta see after the game Friday. It's a little bit. I can't say the wrinkle, but it's exciting for sure.
Well, we'll ask Coach Hecka to send some huddle film. But appreciate you guys hopping on, and we'll get back to the rest of the podcast in a minute.
All right, once again, special thanks to Collin Stare and Jimmy Dewire, 2 Mechanicsburg Thumpers. Yeah. The Wildcats are 6-1, and I fear we kind of kept them a little too long, Dan. But they were so much fun to talk to, and obviously they're ahead of the game in the interview realm. Yeah. You don't see that a lot, you know what I mean? But two great teammates, and obviously they're going to be great teammates at Central Michigan and, of course, Stony Brook, too.
Yeah, and you always like seeing these kids that kind of have helped reestablish cultures at schools, right?
Yep.
And they talked about, like last year, the big names were Josh Smith, Isaac Dolman, and Eli Ryder, rightfully so. But the fact that the winning has continued as those guys have left has showed that these guys were a huge part of that as well. And it just it's becoming sort of more of a, hey, we're creating a model sustainability there. And hard not to, Collin kind of talked about how his sack number's down because he's getting triple teamed.
Right.
I've covered a couple of the Mechanicsburg games. He's not saying that. Like, you have to kind of pay a lot of attention to him. And then that run game led by Dewire and Stare on the offensive line has been really good all year. So just two good kids, fun to talk to, and I imagine that there's going to be a lot more wins in Mechanicsburg the rest of the year.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Reese Miller's averaging about 7 a carry. That's pretty darn good. So it tells you what kind of job those two guys are doing. Okay, so that'll do it for this edition of the PA High School Football Report. Thank you, Dan. Appreciate it, Megan. And obviously thanks to our guests. And week 8, man.
Yeah.
Only 3 more weeks
Can't
left
believe it.
in the regular season. I'll do the German 3. With 3 more weeks left in the regular season, and then we'll start postseason. Soon enough, we're going to start talking about who's going to make it, who's not, and hard to believe now we're halfway through.
Yeah.
Come back and see us.